38研究的博士，发好言说好话，是咱的 Sister Brenda 要甲咱找八四道。Master Wu, Master Jo, Master Tian, and Master Chai, and all talking good evening. Tonight, with us is Sister Brenda, who will share with us her topic about set good vows and say good word. 咱这阵就来邀请咱的 Sister Brenda 甲咱找八四道。Now let us invite our Sister Brenda for her compassionate guidance.
Các quý tổ xin đại gia họ ami, my fellow brothers and sisters, good evening. Thảo chi hằng, cảm謝thiên ung su tiết, mi điạc cho si, su chun su biểu đại tiết, trên lắng, các cốc ủy tiám thuần su, chu pi trái bùi, các cảm謝khi nã đi tì cha ai cốc ủy tổ xin. Hồ hiếu hắc chỉ cái kỳ hội thằng kéo đại gia lắng hạc xịp, bê chung á trôi lắng ai tổ đi. First of all, thanks to the grace of God and teacher's virtue, the generosity and great compassion of Buddha Maitreya, the glory of our Shurchun and Shurmu, the kind nurture and guidance of our grand senior masters, and masters, in letting me have this opportunity to learn and discuss with everyone today the principles of an upright person. Yohak kinadit behaksip etoy baksi, fa hao yen, shua hao hua, what ho guan, se hoe oi. The topic I would like to discuss today is making good vows and saying good words. Kinabikang etoy baksi, dan din seng takdit etudio etay chi, uhat hang eng. Sige si chisyu tokwa, ekwa su, sige kwa su, si jipi, dan choy lang et todi. Si jipi dan choy tai chi, as si choy lang et todi. Sige tokwa, dan lai eng chung, as si tong chang e hong huat, lai ki, kap cheng ka, bechunga choy lang et todi, dan lai cho hoy haksip. Today's topic is something we can apply to our daily life. This topic is the lyrics of a song, which teaches us how to do things and how to be an upright person. Let us use either singing or singing with actions to help us remember this song, and at the same time, increase our knowledge on how to be an upright person. Let us start our discussion. Dan tagelang long chai ya. Dan si chun tu tiyo COVID-19. Si mui lang, si si lang siyong tua e chainan. Chike chainan eng yung mui lang e sengwa, haksip, kap syugyap. Inoy chige si dan dinduy, human being, so chonge kyonggyap, public karma. Dan tekyu, so uemi kya, dan boho hoa tinsyo. So dan mui lang engkay, ti dan e dengdiak laibin, uhuat hang cho ekaw, huat sige guan, cha uhuat hang peng peng an, toke sige chainan. We all know that this COVID-19 is the biggest disaster that each of us has experienced in our lifetime. This pandemic has affected our life, work, and studies. This is human beings' public karma because we did not take care of our Mother Earth. I would like to encourage everybody to make a vow which we are able to achieve to help us get through this disaster. Next slide. Dan lai kai si kai shak chige kwa su, tao chige zua si fa yen, yao fa hao yen. Let us start explaining the lyrics of the song. The first line is fa yen, yao fa hao yen. Next slide. Shami kyo choy yen, guan. Eng bun kyo choy make a wish or make a vow. Next slide. Kuni bikok swan chong tong, Biden swan choy chong tong. 要就这迄天，伊甲顶摆所有的总统son手着摕咧 Bible 的顶面 ，make a vow or make a wish。伊要怎啊做这个级别的总统？咱想看卖，咱即马是21世纪咯，敢若这个动作无啥物变。为着啥物这个200多年前，这个方法无该单调？因为这个 make a wish or make a vow 的力量真大，互咱想袂到。What is I-Kuan? It means make a wish or make a vow. Last year, the United States of America had a presidential election, and Biden was chosen as the president. During the oath-taking ceremony, he had to put his hands on top of the Bible and make a vow like all the other previous presidents. How come this 200-year tradition has not changed, even if it is already the 21st century? Because the power and strength of the vow is so great, it is something that we cannot take for granted. Next slide. Hak bekang tige kosu. I would like to share with everybody a story. Kinaam le tiang ito chin, pat sam ka haling iya, amjay ekidit Wendy bo. Wendy ama kap chua ama ya ho peng yu. Wendy ama ya ka I chua chen pui in ui, isi jige usin yong elang. So I ui tio hege, Wendy ang kong cho chua chen pui lai kiu to. Chua chen pui kap chua ama, si an Wendy in tao kiu to. Wendy ang kap ama, si chua chen pui, kap chua ama in pos. Khi si chun, Wendy ama ya be choi tiam thuan su pa. Be lai, bien choi tiam thuan su. Isi kyo choi, who remembers Wendy? She is from Taiwan and joined the first summer camps we had in Cebu. Her grandmother and Chua ama are good friends. Wendy's grandmother noticed that Chua Chien Pui is a trustworthy person. That is why she asked Wendy's grandfather to invite him to receive Tao. So both Chua Chien Pui and Chua ama were baptized in Wendy's house, and Wendy's grandparents were the introducer and guarantor. Wendy's grandmother at that time was not a master yet. When she became a master, she was called Master T. Choi tiam thuan su diao ao, tak mai jiu chua ama chuki. Quan sim to chin, pan to bu, asi chu chai. Asi lang kan shu, thoi lang chi chai to. Asi lang ke sin, thoi lang chok ke sin e tai chi. Palang bo ai chok chi kwan e tai chi. Ko chua ama choi chi ge tai chi. Chong ya ho se. Đi tiám thuần su, khoa tiệu, cho ama và lộ kế xin ở tài trị. Tạc mai trong giá hồ sê, chính cảm động. Ú chí mai, khi sang chỉ cái tố chín béo áo, càng cho ama ở chiêu giu, càng ý công. Cho thái thái à, đi xong gạo ban chí khoan ở tài trị. Qua hò, áo bay này kế xin của chị. Ô đun đi khi đoá hăng. 就是要互你办，这个就是地点团书的愿。After Wendy's grandmother became a master, she always invited Chua ama to go with her to visit other members, help in the temple, cook vegetarian food, especially during weddings or arrange funeral preparations. Arranging funerals is a job that most people do not want to offer, but it is something that Chua ama does so well. Master T was very touched. One day, after attending a funeral, Master T said to Chua ama, "Mrs. Chua, you are really good at this job. When I die, I want you to prepare everything for my funeral. No matter how far you are, I want you to do it for me. 伊点传书甲伊的牵手，要来去美国旧金山飞航。因先去，要来带前辈甲带阿嬷，也是来菲律宾，属母建设属母先天性导演。两个翁某仔拢对岛咧拍拼。Master T and her husband departed for San Francisco to help there in propagating Tao. They went first. Later on, Chua Jianpui and Chua Ama also left for Cebu to propagate Tao and established a temple in Cebu. Both couples were busy propagating Tao. 有一天，伫點傳書60歲的時，按舊金山要轉去台灣想，要頭先來屬母，才轉去台灣，要來看帶阿媽。迄個時陣，兩個點傳書按台灣，也是來屬母，要來看帶阿媽。因三個拄着帶阿媽真歡喜。有一日，帶前輩甲帶阿媽。三個女的點傳書去找施經理，迄個時陣施經理袂做點傳書，佇點傳書去施經理因兜看到，伊有家庭負擔，甲聽起因施經理翁某仔也發心，伊也歡喜，伊轉笑無幾聲，哈哈哈，了轉昏落去 heart attack。轉帶伊去中華的住處，佇中華的 ICU 經過幾日，因看到救袂轉來咯，轉通知美國阮哋的翁公，甲台灣阮哋的爸爸過來屬母。Master T, when she was about 60 to 70 years old, decided to go home to Taiwan. Before going to Taiwan, she decided to pass by Cebu first to visit Chua Ama before proceeding to Taiwan. At the same time, there were two masters who went to Cebu to visit Chua Ama also. When the three masters met Chua Ama, they were very happy to see her. One day, Chua Jianpui, Chua Ama, and the three masters went to visit Master C. But during this time, Master C was not a master yet. Master T saw that they had a holy house temple in their house and was told that both husband and wife were very devoted. She was so happy to hear this that she was laughing with joy. But after a few laughs, she fainted and had a heart attack. She was rushed to Cebu Chonghua Hospital and was placed in the ICU. After a few days, they saw that her condition would not get better. They immediately informed Wendy's grandfather in San Francisco and Wendy's father in Taiwan to come to Cebu as soon as possible. Chua Ama kang tiam thuan su hwalo long trọng ye sa ye nanang sa kap ki tha kyo chong e tai ji. Ko ya hoki hege nang e tiam thuan su as i hiao thi sa kang Chua Ama tao sa kang ti tiam thuan su e sa. Chua Ama chong liao long trọng ye last wish. Ita an ICU kui kong. Chua Ama started making preparations for her funeral like her Chinese clothes. Luckily, the two masters from Taiwan both knew how to sew clothes, so they both helped Chua Ama. After Chua Ama had done all the preparations for her funeral, Master T left this world. Then I quote your Antia, ye last wish. Bo dun di kidwa hang, what joy ao ji hang tai ji, to si be ho di pan. Ti tiam thuan su, ti bi kok, ko cháu lại hui đi pin sọc bu che Chua Ama. Ko ya hoki, heke nange tiam thuan su, lại cấp ti tiam thuan su che Chua Ama asi hiao thi sa. Ti tiam thuan su, an chui, con chu lại. Có gì bộ tiêm lê hụt cho ở thảo chính. 阿是按活等小表文講出來，阿是手摕咧 Bible 則講出來。We can see here her last wish to Chua Ama was, no matter how far you are, I want you to prepare my funeral for me. Master T from San Francisco came all the way to Cebu, plus the two masters who came from Taiwan also knew how to sew clothes. The wish Master T said to Chua Ama was not even said inside the temple, nor was there a ceremony of burning the holy registration to heaven, nor was there an oath-taking ceremony by putting the hands on the Bible. Yet, her wish was fulfilled. This is a miracle. Tuy chung nghe chui con e quan, dan e chai ia, quan e lat diong xiong tua. So i, dan boi choi kwa kin, quan e lat diong. This is a great miracle. We can see the power of wish coming from our mouth has a great power. We must not take it for granted. Tan si, quan uya choi chiong. Dan chỉ chung con e quan, si ho e quan, a si se quan. Dan na huat siya mi quan. Dan kyo kay ki ding diap cho e kao, sa ki huat. Thang sak ho pa lang, isu si si huat sige quan. Kyo pa lang thôi đi cho, ani si quan. Dan cho boy kao e quan, thang ki huat. There are many kinds of vows. The vow we are talking about now is good vow or kind vow. We have to remember that whenever we plan to make a vow, we have to be sure we have the capability to do it. Do not pass that responsibility to others to do the vow for you. That is not called a vow. If you do not have the capability to do it, then don't make the vow. Next slide. Dan to tiong ukong liang li wei diong yak di ui chike isu chusi dan tio chin dan udwal choy elat diong dan chaki huat guan shu to e guan asi ani pidu dan na uchipa kilo elat diong dan huat di chap kilo e guan chike si liang li wei Inui, di ako pwet chap kilo e lat diong. You did not try your best. Dan na di chap kilo e lat diong. Dan what chipa kilo e guan. Ani maumtyo? Inui, dan ki overloaded. So dan na be what guan. Dan tiyo kwa. Dan cho e kao. Chaki what. Liang li wei means you have to weigh how much strength you have to make the vow. Whenever we make a vow during our cultivation, it is also the same. For example, if you have 100 kilos of strength, then you made a vow of 20 kilos only, then you did not try your best because you still have 80 kilos of strength. Another example is you have 20 kilos of strength, then you made a 100 kilos vow. Then you have overloaded yourself. We have to keep in mind that whenever we make a vow, we have to make sure we have enough strength and use our full ability and capability to do it. Dan si malay siyo, chichige COVID itiam ching, dan becho siyami ho we guan. Lai pang cho chige COVID, lai tao tawa hui bo ki. Next slide. Dan xian tian to i. Uwat ki chige so uwe to chin, long zhong cho e kao, chige ho we guan. Let us now reflect on what good vows we can make to help make this COVID-19 gradually go away. Xiantian Temple is encouraging everybody to make these 4 good vows. Next slide. Idre, itai, si kong, dan tak dit tiệu chặt chai. 每一日有3顿，咱来食一顿菜尔。咱若1/3食菜，咱有法通减少这个地球1/3的杀伤。有一个 movement 要叫人一日一顿食菜，咱若安尼做，咱所有的人会强调 public karma， 减少1/3。咱即阵来开始一顿食菜，甲鼓励别人一日一顿食菜。动物去互人刣有缘分，这个缘分去变做咱人甲动物永远袂无去的冤仇。This does not mean we have to become a vegetarian. It means we will eat vegetables at least 1 meal every day only. If 1/3 of our meal is devoted to eating vegetables, then we can lessen the killings of animals by 1/3 also. There is a movement that encourages people to eat vegetables 1 meal every day. If everybody will be able to do this, this movement is asking, then we could lessen our public karma by 1/3. The hatred that animals have for human beings whenever we kill them will never fade away as long as we continue to kill them. Let us now start eating vegetables 1 meal every day and also encourage other people to do it. Next slide. I-Kuan hoài, 咱即阵大部分伫厝内，咱原在着甲道亲互相关心，毋是讲咱着出去关心伊，咱会做敲电话关心伊，咱通保持迄个 relationship 甲 friendship， 大家互相关心，互相照顾，免开支的关心甲照顾。Due to COVID, we are staying at home most of the time. We still have to continue to keep in touch with our friends and fellow Tauchin. We do not have to go visit them or spend money to maintain a good relationship with them. We can continue to care for them by calling them through phone. Next slide. 一周一成全，一礼拜想办法，互相宣传别个道亲，譬如相合，甲一礼拜一摆，要互相研究道理。也是咱一礼拜一摆，每拜5来 Zoom 听道理，这个就是一周一成全。Once a week, let us find a way to help each other to cultivate in Tao. For example, Dr. Chua and I discuss and learn Tao once a week through Line. Also, we join the lecture through Zoom every Friday. Next slide. 1月1度人，2月半到，一个日招一个人，毋是一个人尔 ，at least 一个人。咱即马无法通点到，咱去找要招谁啊？头先交伊讲 ，COVID 若结束，咱来到伊点到 ，COVID 若结束自然有人通来佛堂点到。We think of somebody we can invite to receive Tao. We can try to think of at least one person a month to invite to receive Tao. When this COVID has subsided, we can go to the temple again. We will have people to invite to receive Tao when the time comes. 咱这个愿，大家人若做会到，伊力量也大。If everybody will be able to do this vow, its strength will be so great. Next slide. 人有善愿，天必从之。意思是每一个人，若有好的愿，上天会照伊的意思，会互伊真顺利。咱若有法通创这个4个好的愿，上天会照咱的希望， ho chike COVID tao tawa ket sok. This means when we make a good vow, God will help us fulfill our wish. God will make everything happen smoothly. If we are able to do these 4 good vows, then God will help us make this COVID gradually go away. Next slide. Swallow 也瓜书下说话要说好话，意思就是咱若讲话，就讲好的话。The next line of the lyrics is 说话要说好话. It means when we talk, we have to say good words. 咱来讲讲话的力量. Now let us discuss the power of words. 最近有一个國家 United Arab Emirates 有一個店叫做 I-Kuan 伊咧賣到伊床這間店的物件俗閣袂歹 I-Kuan 創一個30日的 experiment 應該叫做 Bully a Plant 要互學生看講批評的話也是講無好的話會干哪字。因摕兩張植物 plant 按學堂，叫大家學生一張 plant 就講好的話。你今仔日也水，你今仔日會曉也緊，你就趕緊開花。另外一個 plant 叫所有的學生就講無好的話。你今仔日也香，你會曉會摔袂金，你到即陣敢若也未開花吧？經過一個月，迄個 plant 大家人逐擺講好的話，愈來愈水。迄個一個 plant 呢，未到一個日去老去。In the United Arab Emirates, there is a store called I-Kuan. They sell furnitures like tables, chairs, beds. Their quality is good and prices are very affordable. They made a 30-day experiment called Bully a Plant. They placed 2 plants in a school wherein all students should say good words on one plant and bad words on the other plant. Good words like, "You look great today." "Your leaves are so green today." "You should hurry and bear beautiful flowers." Bad words like, "You look ugly today." "Your leaves look dull today." How come you did not bear flowers yet? After 1 month, the plant was exposed to good words, grew more beautiful each day, while the other wilted. Let us watch a video.
Nobody likes you. No one notices when you're in the room.
You're a mistake.
You're useless. You're not even green.
You look rotten. Are you really even alive?
I like you the way you are. Seeing you blossom makes me happy.
You're making a difference in the world.
You are beautiful.
I brought them here to see the plant. I was like, a plant is getting bullied. Like, it's not normal.
I think it's an excellent project. To have something tangible that they can actually physically be a part of is, I think, going to be very powerful.
As the weeks passed, I started noticing that the one that was being bullied started kind of to droop.
while the plant that was being complimented, it was flourishing and beautiful.
It's raised the profile massively of different forms of bullying and the effects that bullying can have on people.
If it affects a plant, it can definitely affect other people.
Dan o kwate bo an video ko siya. Plants have the same senses as human beings. Sige experiment. Hodan kwa. Tipbot plant. As tikap lang sang. Takmay chapshu boho oe. Asiu boho outcome. Tipbot plant asiu emotion. Tongbot asiu. Kyohak takyo. President Noynoy Aquino. Hidit ikesin hege lang leko ikaw kong itiaki hege kau lehaw kap lang lehaw sang siya. Did you see in the video? Plants have the same senses as human beings. We can see in this experiment that plants also have emotions like human beings because when it is exposed to bad words, it will result in bad outcomes. Animals are also the same. I read the day President Noynoy Aquino died, his dogs also cried. The person taking care of the dogs said their cries sounded like human beings crying. Next slide. Kyohakbe kang padekosu. I would like to share another story. Utige po he gina kyotoy Bart. Iya ai pet chu. Uchidit ie piao shobe tami kwatyo. Ipe kawachu etengbin. Chonte ipe. Pudien kan uya tua huang chelai. Hege chu. Chuan tiditintang. Bart e papa kwatyo. Chuan kang Bart kong. Bart! Hoa hui an. Tami e laubu asituho kwatyo. Chuan kong. Tami thang kolo lai. Tami e laubu kong diao. Tami chuan kolo lai. There was once an 8-year-old kid named Bart. He loved to climb trees. One day, his younger cousin Tommy saw him climb up the tree and decided to follow him. Suddenly, there was a huge gust of wind, and the tree started to shake. Bart's father saw him up the tree and shouted, "Bart, hold on tightly." At the same time, Tommy's mother saw her up the tree and also shouted, "Tommy, don't fall." After her mother shouted those words, Tommy was heard screaming and fell flat on the ground. Bart e papa kang Bart kay siya. Kana Tommy kikolo lai. Inoy, Tommy e laubu kang ikong. Tommy thang kolo lai. Sige si, sige negative e oy. So i negative e outcome. In laupe kang ikong. Bart, hoa hoy an. Sige si positive e oy. So i positive e outcome. Bart's father explained to Bart how Tommy felt. Tommy's mother told her, "Tommy, don't fall." Do not fall is a negative statement, so it had a negative outcome. While Bart's father told him, "Bart, hold on tightly." It is something positive resulting in a positive outcome. That is why he held on tightly with all his strength. So i dan lang kong oy elat yong yatwa. Tiak piet dan shu to elang, ja chai elang, in ui ja chai elang le kong oy kasyang, kachun, kap hyo hak chama okang ti tiam tuan su ekosu. The power of words is so great, especially when we are Tao cultivators. and at the same time vegetarian. Since the words that we will say will come true, like the story I shared about Master T's last wish. Next slide. Then the Teng Bin, Tai Piao Thi, A Bin, Tai Piao Tui. Then the Kong Oi, Chui Tun Thi Kap Tui, A Tin Tang. Tiak Piet, then the Kong Kang To Di A Si Chun, Shong Thi Kap Lang, A Kik Kam Tong Tiok. So I, Dan Tiok Jin Yong, Kong Ho E Oi, Boy Choi Chin Chai Kong Oi. Our upper lip symbolizes heaven, and our lower lip symbolizes earth. When we talk, both our upper and lower lips will move, so we must always be careful of what we say. We have to say good words whenever we give our lectures. God. Then let's talk check senja. So idan na singko body, sim, mind, mouth. Yo jin yong cho. Có về tài chỉ. Có về sinh hoạt. Con có về uể. Nên là khoa tiệu bà lắng. E hoạt tiêm bồi chơi thì thao càng ý con. E kí xong tiệu ý. Nên tiệu hoạt các ý hô chủ. Ô si ý hô chủ. Cho hoạt thằng tạo tạo á quay ý phai chủ. When we are cultivating, we have to accumulate virtue. So our body, mind, and mouth should do all good things. Think of good things and say good words. Whenever we see other people's defects, we should not say it to them outright because it will hurt them. We should encourage them with their good points so that eventually the good will overpower and slowly erase their bad points. Next slide. Yang shan in a. Ý suy, dan anh ye hoe so chai. Thang anh ye pai so chai. Ani ye tạo tạo anh ye hoe so chai khi hoát thui. An ye hoe so chai chút lát. Ye pai so chai e tạo tạo cay tiểu. Si dan bồi chơi con ye pai so chai. Dan tiểu che right time, cấp right mood, chắc càng ít con. Na bố e khi xong tiểu ý. Next slide. Cấp lết khôi chui chiêu sáng. Dan tiểu kê phong, chắc e khá hó khôi. So y phì khi mô bì. Mấy cái tan tiểu tiểu thao sinh vọng phong à xì sa bốn. Thế cái lắng ra ổ hoa thẳng chép xù. Đi bê con hô ẻ uể. Nà bố, ẻ khi biên dôi phai ẻ uể. Yang shan in a means praising the good points of others and concealing the faults of others. Therefore, we have to concentrate on cultivating a person's good habit to slowly get rid of a person's bad habit. It does not mean we cannot tell them about their bad habits. We just have to find the right time to tell them. Just like when shaving the beard, we have to put foam or soap so that it will be easier to shave. So we also have to do that when telling another person about their bad habit. Otherwise, they will take it as a negative word towards them. Next slide. Liang Yan San Tong Wan. Không lắng hoe uể khăn ăn qua thi. Sĩ khi dim chege shoe kapi asi shoe thang. Ani huan wan luan. Liang Yan San Tong Luan means when we say something good to someone, it is like drinking hot coffee or hot soup on a cold winter. It feels so good. Next slide. 2口6月寒，若听起无好的话，较咱伤热天也凊。咱咧修道着学，要学什么？讲好的话，毋是凊彩共人学事，明明都无迄个优点，你共人学事，还互伊想较咱有影，安尼就是口苦，喙发着毋对的话。这个就是叫做太麻痹，共人熟悉。这个变做咱咧讲白贼话，咱目的，毋是正好的。二口6月寒 means we should be careful with what we say. For example, you shouldn't tell something good to someone, even if it's not true. That is already lying. Maybe we have an objective behind it. In other words, we call it sip-sip in our language. And this is not good. It is just like feeling cold in summer weather. We do not feel good. 药學今仔日講到這，下禮拜則佫繼續講這個題目發校宴說校話。下禮拜則佫見面，交多親做伙學習，講了無圓滿的所在，請點段書自備圓滿，請各位多親寫做原諒，請多意的善佛寫做，謝謝各位多親，身體健康，萬事如意。I will end my lecture here today. I will continue to talk about this topic, making a good vow and saying good words next week. I will see you next week. If ever I said something wrong, I would like to ask our master to correct my mistake. I would like to ask our fellow brothers and sisters to forgive me for my mistakes. I would like to ask for all the saints here today to also forgive me. Thank you. Wishing everybody good health and that everything will go smoothly in your life.
Thank you, Sister Brenda. 咱来请咱的蔡典传师给咱慈悲。
各位道亲好暗暝，今仔日咱非常欢喜听许欣然Brenda 甲咱讲这篇咱逐工会用的日常的生活一篇足好的道理。当然咱今仔暗暝爱欢喜，就是讲即马伫咧线上咧有吴汉义典传师甲吴妈妈林秀梅在这里。伫咧后下要讲话进前咧，咱是毋是会做邀请吴汉义典传师慈悲甲咱鼓励几句啊？无？吴汉义典传师慈悲。吴汉义典传师您好。
大家好。
好，请你打开视频跟我们鼓励一下。请您打开视频跟我们鼓励一下。
打开视频。各位点老师，各位道亲，大家好暗暝。
好暗暝。
今日听到 Brenda 在讲这篇讲好话，爱立好愿。由这个伊所讲的内底呢，有真侪讲了真正好势所以讲咱俗语呢，菲律宾慢慢培养出真侪好的这个人才。那么这个愿呢，愿就是原来的心嘛，这个愿甲普通的愿意的愿无同。这个愿就是原来的心，就是讲咱的本性，就咱的自性，就是咱的良心。所以咱这个愿的同时，咱在求道的时呢，咱就有着这个愿。 你想变细无？想要烦恼无？还是直接讲吼？所以因为有这个原力求道的时呢，就是有这个原力，才会当求道。如果咱的十条台湾，咱也无入的时阵呢，点传师都无甲你点道，就袂用求道。所以必须爱入这十条台湾，所以愿是真重要，对咱修道来底真重要。当然啦，拄则人咧讲，咱在拄则 Brenda 讲量力而为啦。其实量力而为呢，也无够。拄则你甲咱讲，拢也无够。所以量力呢，咱家己所有咧讲的量力是，有请是有迄个量迄个力啊无？为真，如果咱也是有真正量力的时阵呢，咱应该会做个真好势。但是咱普通家己咧讲量力的时阵呢，拢是拢有真侪真大的保留啦。所以咱的前辈者呢，将量力而为后壁呢。伊甲加一句讲叫做尽力而为啦，量力而为，甲改做尽力而为，就是讲咱尽量去做，尽量做，甲量力而为就有一点仔无共，所以咱前辈才来咱鼓励是讲，咱来尽力而为。那么咱所平常时呢，拄则伊咧讲好话吼。讲好话嘛是都爱毋通，着过讲爱讲啥？讲实在话，讲实在的好话，毋是迄个无私的好话。这真要紧吼。若讲实在的好话啊，对迄个人较有帮助；若用无私的好话呢，对迄个人较无帮助。另外，佫一句话呢。有咧讲这个允恶用善，允恶用善呢，这句话呢，咱常常拢是一般拢向外口咧讲，咱即马咱就爱反倒转来呢，对咱家己，对咱家己讲允恶用善，就是讲咱家己无好的所在呢，咱爱甲改起来，甲稳起来，好无去。将善的甲发挥起来，敢若一个圆圈内底呢，若画这一半，一边是善，一边是恶。如果咱若所做的呢，拢总是善，自然呢，迄个恶伊就无去。所以是安尼无去，毋是讲咱做歹代志，咱甲扛起来，惊人知，毋是安尼，是因为咱好代志直直做。做到尾啊呢，都歹代志就无所在，通我无法度通我做啊。因为拢圆圈内底，拢总都是好代志啊。所以咧，这就是咱原来的心的变现所以讲了真正好啦。希望咱这呢，咱会当咱倒转的时阵呢，会当好好地咱的日常生活中内底，互咱做真好的这个改善的目标，祝各位大家法力充满，谢谢，谢谢。
谢谢点传师慈悲，来请珊珊助理甲咱翻译英文。珊珊助理。
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we are very happy that we had our sister Brenda to discuss with us to make good vows and speak good words. The topic is very good. And it is very well explained to us. When we say vow, it means our original heart. It is not just any ordinary vow. It shows our true self. And we are making vow every time. During the time that we receive Tao, we are making our vows. So because if we cannot make these vows, we cannot receive Tao. So it was mentioned also that we have to do things to do what we are able to do. But later on, scholars change it and tells us that we have to try our very best to do what we can do. and we have to speak good words. And these good words means that we have to say the truth, not just to say pretty words to make people happy. We have to say what is true, what is really happening, and not just say things to make people like you or to make people love listening to you. So another thing mentioned was that we have to keep bad and to spread the good. So this means that we have to try our best to do what is good so that whatever is bad will just disappear, because when we have done so many good things, there is no more space within our circle for any bad words or any bad deeds that we can do. So just try ourselves to do the very best that we can do, all the good things, so that there is no more space for bad things to happen. Anelo 点禅师。
赖居德点禅师也在，那么要请赖居德点禅师给咱鼓励几句啊。
点禅师各位点禅师各位助理，各位堂主，各位道亲，大家好暗暝。休下无特别的学习啦，拄则Brenda 讲了非常的自卑将伊的体会完全甲表达出来。咱个后礼拜的课程个用个继续伫个空中相会休下非常的感恩，嘛再次感恩五点师的自卑，休下学习咱时间交转来，互咱带点师。
Good evening, everyone. And tonight we have a very good topic. Our sister Brenda has made a very nice discussion about the topic, and we are very thankful that we are able to be listening to these topics through Zoom. So next week we still have another chance to continue with her discussions.
那么以后踮咧遮做一个补充Brenda 伊头阵仔讲到院的时阵有说到。咱即马台北前县道伊有发起一个运动，请全你翻译。
Another thing that our Master Chai wanted to add is that our sister Brenda has discussed with us about a vow that our Xian Tian Taoyuan in Taipei has been trying to do.
这个运动呢，这个运动有4个口号，头一个口号就是一日一斋。第2个口号就是一日一关怀，第3个口号就是一周一成全，第4个口号就是一月一度众。这个运动呢，就是为着要互咱早日脱开这个 COVID-19 的束缚，再发起这个运动。
In Taipei there is this they have these 4 things that they wanted to accomplish. The first thing is that we have to take a vegetarian or at least 1 vegetarian meal per day. Second is that each day we should at least go and show care and love for our co-members at least once a day. And then at least once a week we should try to help and assist our Tao members to with their cultivation. And then at least once a month, we should discuss and bring friends to receive Tao at least once a month. These things are made. These things are made so in order to reduce the severity of COVID-19.
这个运动真好，因为咱安尼照做的时阵呢，咱虽然互迄个外在环境去落挡着，咱嘛法度照常修道、照常办道、照常成功了愿，而且毋是真困难。
This activity is very good because these are not very difficult for us to accomplish, and it is something that we can all do to continue with our cultivation despite the lockdown.
咱在座50几台电脑还是手机嘛吼，还是讲 iPad 吼，咱大家来想看觅，咱一工上少食一工菜有困难无？会用说是无困难，而且在座真多已经千口啊。
So tonight we can see that we have more than 50 units attending Zoom with us tonight. So is it difficult for us to have at least one vegetarian meals a day? As we can see, many of us here are already have already taken the vegetarian vow, which means they are full vegetarians.
毋是讲咱亲口的人要倒我等去食一工菜就好啦，毋是咯，吼，就是讲咱已经食菜的人，爱去鼓励迄寡也未食菜的人，上少一工食一顿菜。
It doesn't mean that for those who are already taking full vegetarian meals, this is not encouraging us to just take one vegetarian meal a day. It is telling us that for those who are already full vegetarians, for those who have already taken the vegetarian vows, to go and encourage other people who are not vegetarians to at least take one vegetarian meal a day.
即摆食菜的人真多，亲口的人真多，毋过还未食菜的人嘛也多。
There are so many vegetarians nowadays. There are so many who has taken the Qingkao vow, but there are still so many who are not vegetarians.
即寡还未亲口，还未食菜，即寡咱的同修、咱的上伴、咱的亲戚朋友呢，大家若发挥即个一工3顿内面食一顿菜咧，就敢若亲像拄啊Brenda所说，地球内面上少有1/3的动物袂去用杀害，袂去用杀死。
So when we can encourage our co-cultivators, our friends, families, and relatives to at least take one vegetarian meal a day, as what our sister Brenda has mentioned, we can help 1/3 of the animal to not being harmed because we are not preparing meats on our table.
在无形中就敢若亲像拄啊Brenda所说，咱人甲动物中啊个怨恨啊会豆少，对立会豆少，咱即个地球的问题可能会豆会解决。
So through this, as our sister Brenda has mentioned, that through this we can reduce at least the hate between that is creating between the animals and the humankinds.
所以这个一日一斋呢，是咱会用的对咱的亲戚朋友，不管是道亲也好，毋是道亲也好，上好的一个鼓励。
So for the one vegetarian meal a day is something that we can do we can encourage our friends and relatives, those even those who are not into vegetarianism.
过来第二个就是讲一关怀，就是对咱家己道亲咯，还是讲对咱的亲戚朋友咯。咱袂做咧，因为讲咱落档，明仔日也是后日咱目哥都要落档咯，玛丽娜也要落档咯。落档的时阵呢，咱都袂用出去啊，也袂当见着面啊，大家拢挂面罩、戴口罩，讲话也拢讲袂清都毋知要安怎互相沟通才好。所以有的人阵啊会因为讲落档咧，感觉讲足有助的。即个时阵呢，咱所有开始咧听道理的道亲，咱都爱主动摕电话、摕手机敲电话去关心迄寡可能无人关心，伊会感觉真有助的人。
So for the showing love and care to our co-cultivators or our friends and relatives, we can show them that we still remember them, that we still care for them despite the lockdown. Because some people, during the lockdown, nobody calls them, nobody talks to them. They will feel really very down and lonely. So we can at least use our cell phones or telephones to call them or text them to show that there are still people who care for them despite the lockdown.
尤其即寡 咱说银发族啦，即个年纪较大的 senior 吼，已经年外拢袂用出去啊，会用讲非常的displace， 真正有助。
Especially the senior citizens who has been locked in their house, they are not allowed to go out for more than a year now. So these are the group of people who are feeling really depressed because they already seldom see anybody showing care to them.
用拨一个电话啊，还是拨一个手机吼，关心咱周围看袂到的我亲戚朋友，这就是叫做一日一关怀。
So by using our telephones, we can text or call them to show that we still remember them and love them and care for them. That is what is meant by showing care at least once a day.
第三呢叫做一周一成全吼，对咱已经带入来道中来求道迄寡道亲的吼，咱你应该爱袂做你该放在边啊，咱应该爱想办法成全你不管伊有法度，伊若有法度用电脑，会晓用电脑，咱就邀请伊入来电脑邀请伊入来网络内面，甲咱做伙来开班。伊若袂晓用电脑咧，咱嘛爱半出点钟固定一礼拜，上少一礼拜咧，甲伊抄一寡道务，成全一寡道理。
So to assist our Tao members in their cultivation at least once a week, we can look for different ways to help them in their cultivation despite the lockdown. Because they can no longer come to the temple to listen to the lecture. So for those who knows how to use Zoom, we can invite them to come and listen to our lectures once a week. And also for those who are not able to use Zoom, who do not know how to use the computer or the cell phone, we can at least call them or contact them once a week to discuss with them different things about the temple or different chores that they can do for the temple or discuss with them our lectures once a week.
咱真感恩有这个 Zoom 这个物件这款的功能的东西存在互咱有法度踮咧空中大家见面大家拍招呼大家来听道理开班无去转去。
So we are very grateful because of Zoom, that despite the lockdown that we cannot see each other physically, we can still say hi to each other and show our care for each other through Zoom.
虽然咱停班咧，咱嘛无停学。
Even though that our lectures in the temple are stopped because of lockdown, but still we do not stop learning.
这就是咱所说迄个运动的第三项。
That was the third item in the activity.
头一项是一日鼓励人一日食一顿菜。第二项就是咱每一日敲电话去关心亲戚朋友道亲第三就是讲每一礼拜成全道亲听道理，也是讲道理道亲听，也是成全道亲互伊更较进步，叫做一周一成全。这三项是运动的这两项。
So as we have mentioned, there are 4 items that we were trying to do during the lockdown. Number 1, it was to take at least 1 vegetarian meal a day. Number 2, it is to show our love and care for our family and friends, and also our co-cultivators at least once a day. And number 3, it is to assist our members and to look for ways to help each other with to still go and continue with our cultivation despite the lockdown, and so that each of us can still improve even though we are staying at home. That was the
这个运动的第4项呢，就是讲1月1度种。虽然讲咱袂做咧出门咯，咱嘛利用这寡手机啦，还是利用各种的物件，咱每一月日有一个 budget， 有一个预算，上少呢去度一个人 当然咱即摆无法度通办到，咱倒一个人甲预约做一个 appointment， 讲各位咱即摆后摆若迄个 COVID 调低以后咧，咱来转来去先天性动物医院，还是转来中树道院，还是转来去三和西道院咱大家做伙来点头来找一条性命的领路这个一月一度众预约啦 ，appointment 啦，预约咱将来 COVID 结束了咱就是马上有法度办真侪多。
So the last item is that we have to go using the telephone. We can go and invite our friends and relatives to receive Tao. So we can make appointments ahead, and this appointment will come through once we are no longer being locked down. That COVID is already not really serious around us. So we can make an appointment that after a year or after few months, we can all come to the temple and receive Tao.
所以咱因为这个 lockdown 咱这久就无法度拍开户门叫人来点头吧咱即摆真用预约的方式，当咱无 lockdown 咯无去用封闭起来的时候，有等个开放咯咱就马上就有人通点头，唔免等咱开放了，再临时要去找道亲，安尼就较逼，就较晚。
So during this time of lockdown, the temples are not allowed to open and to make gatherings. So it is impossible for us to let our friends come to the temple and receive Tao. But we should start right now to discuss Tao with them and let them understand Tao and let them understand our how we can go back to heaven, our way to heaven, so that when the time that we are ready to open up the temple, we can invite them to receive Tao.
检查因为咱大家这个预约度众这个愿力就用个检查会对这个COVID 的这个难关甲咱提早甲咱解决，因为咱大家发这个度众的愿力。
So since we are all making this vow to invite friends to receive Tao, maybe if many of us will do it, it can become a great vow that can eliminate COVID as early as possible.
那么今仔日就是用这个Brenda 所说这个先天道院这个 COVID-19 中央所发起的这个4个运动甲做各位道亲做一个学习讲了甲无好势所在呢，请先父下罪，请各位原谅。
So tonight our Tianchuan discussed with us what Sister Brenda has discussed with us also, and most especially putting emphasis on the vows that the Xiantian Temple in Taiwan is making, the four vows that we are trying to let everybody understand and try to let everybody know and practice. So
下面家谢谢吴汉义点传师夫妇赖点传师跟我们在线上见面，跟我们一个这么好的鼓励。
So we have to tonight we want to thank our Wu Hanyi Tian Chuan Si, also Wu Mama for being with us tonight, and also our Lai Tian Chuan Si for being with us tonight.
那我们今天开班就到这里结束。我们现在就跟点传师辞驾，